Hello, I'm Zoe Briggs and this is Buckingham News. New public toilets will finally be built in Buckingham after Aylesbury Vale District Council and Buckingham Town Council have reached an agreement. The proposal has been on the table for a long time with opposition and contention over its position in town. Toby Agbaje has the story.
There has been a long wait for new public toilets in Buckingham, dating back to 2011 when Councillor Robin Stoochbury first proposed the idea. It has been a long process and has gone through many proposed sites, areas and reasons why Aylesbury Vale District Council opposed the idea.
We subsequently agreed a site in Cornwall's Meadow car park with one cabinet member. Then we had a new cabinet member of the District Council who decided that site was no longer appropriate. After all those many years, we managed to get to a position in late 2015 where there was agreement that yes, the toilets would go forward.
The toilets will be located in Cornwall's Meadow at the Shop Mobility and will be transformed from a temporary to a permanent structure. They will consist of one unisex, one disabled and one changing place toilet for people with severe physical and learning disabilities. Now that permission has been granted, Aylesbury Vale District Council has given £230,000 to Buckingham Town Council from the New Homes Bonus Fund.
Council point of view, yes, it's expensive, but at least the matter comes to a close now. At the end of the day, it's not money that's going to come from the ratepayers, it's money that's already there.
The current lobby toilets are no longer fashionable due to safety and crime prevention reasons. It is hoped that the new ones will be open by the start of the summer. This is Toby Agbaje for Buckingham News.
Monday the 1st of February saw the beginning of Startup Europe Week. This initiative is from the Startup Europe and the European Commission and celebrates, encourages and teaches about entrepreneurship. Joanna Lynn went to find out more.
Startup Euro Week aims to celebrate entrepreneurship and support budding businessmen and women in their entrepreneurial endeavors. Buckingham is one of more than 200 towns and cities across Europe promoting the week and is the smallest of just 11 locations within the UK.
The week is also about putting a spotlight on local action and is specifically tailored to local environment. Nigel Adams, the Programme Director for Business Enterprise at the University of Buckingham, brought Startup Europe Week to the town.
The European Union recognises that the world is changing and it's vital to get more entrepreneurial mentality in the people of Europe. Sadly, Buckingham as a university is not as well known as it should be. In fact, there are many people who I thought should know about it and haven't a clue about it.
The University of Buckingham is hosting 3 talks during the week, the highlight being led by Mike Adamson, Local Director of Metro Bank, on Wednesday evening.
I'll be talking about initially Metro Bank and how it is seen in the banking world as quite an entrepreneurial business, how it's trying to revolutionise and change banking in the UK.
This event shows that Buckingham is once again punching above its weight when it comes to the involvement of high-profile events and is at the forefront of encouraging the next generation of entrepreneurs. This is Joanna Ling for Buckingham News.
The drugs and alcohol policy within the university has been updated for the 2016 year. The policy brings in a set of stricter rules as well as harsher consequences. This has sparked discussions about whether the change is justified, along with concerns about student privacy. Henry Thompson has the story.
At the beginning of the term, all students were emailed with an updated version of the drugs and alcohol policy. Letters were also posted to everyone staying in student accommodation. There were only a few alterations, but one of the most significant is students in possession of or using illegal drugs will no longer receive a formal warning. Such students may be expelled from the university even if it is their first offence. Similar consequences occur if any kind of paraphernalia is found in a student's possession or in their residence on campus. It then mentions all student rooms may be subject to random searches, making many wonder, how far do rules have to change before students' privacy is affected? Some students don't feel comfortable knowing that their rooms and possessions may be searched through by security without their knowledge or permission. But the new change in policy may even result in more room searches as the university tries to stub out drug use on campus.
Privacy concerns for me. I mean, already I live on Morton Road, so a lot of the time they actually come in and check the house for utilities and stuff.
We tend only to take action where we have had indicated to us that there may be a problem, and that will remain exactly the case as before. We don't go in, and certainly don't intend to go around marauding around all the student accommodation.
This change also comes at a time where laws surrounding drug use, in particular cannabis, the most widely used recreational drug, are being debated more than ever.
I think it's a good thing, really. If you've got nothing to hide, then you should have nothing to fear.
I agree there is a difficult balance to strike here, but if students have felt that that there has been heavy-handedness, that's the matter to take up with the senior tutor.
It is important to ensure substance use is not a part of university life, but with student privacy being impacted and the general view on minor drug use changing, it looks like there will be more points of conflict before this is resolved. This is Henry Thompson for Buckingham News.
The number of drink and drug driving arrests made over the Christmas period increased by almost 20% over last year's figures, according to a report by Thames Valley Police. Could new legislation and equipment be the reason for the increase in arrests? Chris Amar has more on the story.
Thames Valley Police arrested a total of 325 people for drink or drug driving offenses during their Where Will You End Up Tonight campaign, which ran from the 1st of December of last year to the 1st of January. This figure is up significantly on the 273 people arrested during the same period in the previous year. However, the largest increase is the number of drug driving offenses, which alone have leapt up by a total of 30 arrests. Police are now able to perform roadside tests for those suspected of driving under the influence of drugs.
Previously, under the older legislation, officers were making a subjective decision based on field impairment testing. For the drugs driving side of stuff, the equipment and the change in legislation has enabled more arrests to take place.
If the driver is found to be over a specific limit for a Class B cannabis and Class A cocaine, they can be arrested on the spot. Break, the road safety charity, said, "Drug driving has been the hidden menace on our roads, and the effects of illegal drugs can be highly unpredictable because they are unregulated. It is estimated that 200 deaths a year in the UK may result from drug driving." Whilst the efforts from Thames Valley Police have appeared to have been a success, it will take a number of years to measure the true impact of the new legislation and equipment. I'm Chris Almar for Buckingham News.
And now over to sports with Rabiatu Baboy.
Thank you, Zoe. The University of Buckingham Polo Club played their first fixture in over 20 years against Morton Morrow College. Scott Stanley went to Dallas Boston Polo Club to watch the match.
Buckingham was playing on their home grounds, and with 8 years of experience behind the team captain, Thomas Gordon-Colbrook, the university team was looking strong.
We train with our coach, Hugh Bevan, who's a two-goal professional player. We just get more acquainted with the horses we were going to be using for the match and make sure that we were all communicating well as a team, because it's only 3 aside, so you need to have that very, very strong interpersonal relationship between all the players. It takes quite a while to get an established membership together. It's certainly taken us this long to become ready for a match.
The home side started with a 2-goal handicap, but this did nothing to stop Buckingham from taking an early lead, scoring 3 goals within the first 20 minutes of the game.
Well, we've got the national championships next week, which we're currently training for. And after we've got that under our belts, where we have hopes of securing the title for the national championships, we're organising friendlies against Gloucester, Manchester, Birmingham and possibly Warwick.
The Morton Morrow Polo Club fought back, scoring 4 goals, 2 each by Marcus Thorpe Cotman and Amy Harper. But they were let down and were unable to fight out of the net, despite their opening advantage. After they dominated their first match with a final score of 14-6, the Buckingham team now has its sights set on competing in the national championship next week.
As the season progresses, try to make an effort to come out and support Tom in the newly resurrected Buckingham Polo Club. I'm Scott Stanley reporting from Buckingham News.
The North Buxton District League football match between the University of Buckingham and Steeple Claydon was postponed due to the state of the pitch on Gorkard Road. The match has been rearranged for this Saturday against the Division 1 side, who are currently only 1 point ahead of Buckingham on the league table. And now back to the studio.
Two of Buckingham University's eminent economic lecturers have recently released books on the subjects of the Great Crash of 1929 and the European Banking Union. The doctors are also members of the UK's Institute of International Monetary Research, based here in Buckingham. Paul Rutland went to find out more about these in-depth studies and the men behind them.
Doctors Juan Castañeda and Ali Kabiri are lecturers in economics here at the University of Buckingham, while also holding the respective positions of Director and Deputy Director of the UK's Institute of International Monetary Research.
Dr. Kabiri's book, The Great Crash of 1929, A Reconciliation of Theory and Evidence, discusses the 1920s US stock market boom and the subsequent bust in 1929.
We have data from 1870 through to 1929 to build up our pre-crash models, and then we also have data going from 1929 to 2010, which shows us what subsequently happened.
Dr. Castañeda has worked as an expert advisor to the European Parliament's Economic and Monetary Affairs Committee, and is one of 3 editors on a book entitled European Banking Union, Prospects and Challenges.
Well, the book is a collection of contributions from several authors, some coming from continental Europe, from the UK of course, America, New Zealand, all of them addressing a very important topic, a very timely topic, which is the creation and the implementation of the European Banking Union.
Here at the university, we're looking forward to seeing these books fly off the shelves. This is Paul Rutland for Buckingham News.
In other news, a car overturned off the A421 roundabout by the Tesco Superstore on Tuesday afternoon. The driver lost control of his Ford Fiesta, which mounted the curb before flipping as it went up the slope that surrounds the supermarket premises. He was given first aid by police and was then taken to Milton Keynes Hospital with suspected neck injuries. No other vehicles were involved. The car was winched onto a low loader and moved away quickly. Traffic returned back to normal within the hour. Police have not yet released details of the cause of the accident. Buckingham residents will no longer be able to make their late-night runs into Tesco, as the supermarket has announced its plans to end the 24/7 open hours in Buckingham branch. The supermarket will now close at midnight, with a reduction in hours blamed on the rise of online shopping and subsequent fall in late-night shoppers. The University of Buckingham has created a new initiative to help students struggling with their work. The Foundation and Academic Skills Department will offer students short sessions to help them with their studies free of charge. These skills can be useful to students after university in the workplace. These sessions will be held every Wednesday from 1:15 to 3:15 in the Chandos Road building. For more information, contact bryony.norburn@buckingham.ac.uk. On the 22nd of January, the Check-in and Plagiarism Prevention Service, Turnitin, was subject to a denial of service attack known as a DDoS. The cyber attack left the service unavailable to use between 5:43 a.m. and 8:35 a.m, a strange time for a cyber attack. However, this isn't the first time this has happened, as the service was also hit on the 8th of December. This calls to question the reliability of an essential service used by hundreds of thousands of students nationwide. A healthy heart means a strong body. To encourage people to take care of their well-being, February has been declared National Heart Month. For this year's Heart Month, everyone is encouraged to make small changes toward a healthier lifestyle. Laura Hughes has the story.
There are about 2.6 million people living in the UK with coronary heart disease. Every single one of us has a heart, which means we are all susceptible to potential risk. Understanding heart conditions isn't an easy task. There are lots of different types, and knowing how the heart works is crucial. Looking at the facts and learning how to prevent heart disease will benefit you and your loved ones in the long run. An essential life-saving step in the chain of survival, should you suffer a cardiac arrest outside, is having access to public defibrillators. The Buckingham AED project are a group of people who made sure that the town had enough defibrillators about 2 years ago.
UK-wide, we say a jumbo jet's worth of people have cardiac arrests every day. So one of these things will save lives. We're talking about raising the saving of a life up to something like 50%.
A defibrillator is an electronic portable device that shocks the heart in an attempt to restore its natural rhythm when someone is in a sudden cardiac arrest. In 2014, the Buckingham Defibrillator Project aimed to raise £7,500 to purchase and install 3 AEDs in areas of high footfall in Buckingham.
Where one of these forms of heart disease causes you to go into cardiac arrest, which is where your heart stops beating, where you stop breathing.
Managing your diet, keeping fit and watching your blood pressure are all important factors.
This important month also gives us an excuse to sip a glass of red wine. This is Laura Hughes for Buckingham News.
Even after a long and stressful day's work, it's still important to look after your heart. We sent Elisa Lee with the recipe to cook up a hearty meal.
The heart is a symbol of love and life. Inspired by National Heart Month, the low-cholesterol baked citrus fish will set your heart aflutter.
To follow our recipe, you need 1 lime and 1 lemon, 2 teaspoons of olive oil, a teaspoon of honey, tarragon, parsley, and black pepper.
A salmon steak. Preheat the oven to 200 degrees Celsius. Put lime seeds and juice, lemon juice, oil, honey, chopped herbs, and black pepper in a small bowl. Whisk together until thoroughly mixed. Place the salmon steak in an oven-proof dish. Pour over lime mixture.
Cover dish loosely with grease-proof baking paper.
Bake for 20 minutes or until fish is cooked. This fish dinner looks delicious and is healthy and is tasty. This is Elisa Lee for Buckingham News.
Thank you for watching Buckingham News. We'll see you next week.